What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? We are finally reviewing a figure that God knows how long this has been out. I actually don't even remember. Obviously, people have been dogging on the SH Monsterarts Shimo for, it's overpriced, doesn't look as detailed, all because of this. This was revealed way sooner before the SH Monsterarts, and people were like, oh my god, this Shimo looks so good. And she's affordable. This one's only like $100. The SH Monsterarts one is like, you're looking like $350 to like $400. So that being said, I can only say, let's blame Hiya for taking so long to put this one out. The amount of times I have logged onto Hiya's website or another store's website, and I always see this one on either pre-order or sold out. Let's get this thing reviewed. So here we have Shimo in the box art. I'm really digging the new box designs that Hiya has for their new figures now. It just beats the old ones so much better. It looks so much more artistically beautiful. So we have logo, Shimo, other logos, choking hazards. We got the top, we got the bottom, we got this side, and we got this side. And finally, here's the back. This image has been haunting us for a year and a few months now. This was the first image of the figure, and now I'm finally holding it in physical form in my actual hands. We have another image there. We have a bunch of info here. If you're really that interested, then pause the video and actually read this. I'm not gonna bother. So let's crack this open. I feel like this is a long overdue unboxing. So oh my god, I'm finally looking at it. Let's do this. Let's open this. This was definitely worth the wait, cause oh my god, I get it now. Now that's not to say the SH Monsterarts is garbage. I've had my thoughts on it. Look, I did a whole review on it. If you really want to see everything I said about it, go watch that. I totally understand why people were slamming on that Shimo. Overpriced? Oh, absolutely. Details? Lacking, for sure. Let's pull out the comparison. The one that's been getting all the hate. Size-wise, she is slightly bigger here in her SH Monsterarts form, but if you look at the designs, they could not be more different. That is a huge contrast. And this is the same character. Hiya really took their time with the details and the paint job and making sure it just looks aesthetically pleasing. And they absolutely nailed that for a somewhat reasonable, not ridiculous price. This is 100 Canadian dollars. I assume it's like a little cheaper if you bought it in the US, probably like 60, 70 Canadian. I hope it's that cheap, but unfortunately I had to pay $100 for mine here, but that's okay. It was still retail price. Unlike this, I paid, I think with tax, was almost $400 for this Shimo right here. This is basically a PS4. And then when you look at the designs for both of them, I totally get why people hated this one. This is like a Playmates Shimo, but extremely overpriced and fancier, if you will, because it only uses 2 color schemes. Well, 3 if you want to count the claws at her feet, but mainly 2 colors. Then again, it didn't stop this from selling out. The warehouse where I get these figures from sold out of this Shimo within days. Enough about the SH Monsterarts Shimo. You can go watch the full review on that. But I will compare this Shimo to the other Shimo that released relatively around the same time as this one. This is, of course, a stylistic diorama Shimo. So obviously, I literally just did the review on this last week, so it was pretty recent. And I was impressed with the stylistic statue here. I was like, yeah, this is the colors I can expect from Hiya's version of Shimo, then surely the Exquisite basic figure is gonna look peak. And dare I say it, I was correct. And surprisingly, it actually has a noticeable difference. It's not a one-for-one replica. That's great. So the main difference, obviously, is the dorsal plates. For the stylus one here, the diorama here, you're looking at mainly a shade of light blue, kind of camouflaging with the white. Whereas the Exquisite basic one here is mainly on the darker blue side, which I absolutely dig. It looks fantastic. It just shows how detailed something can be if you're precise. So obviously this Shimo, no articulation, no playability. It's obviously for aesthetics only, but obviously I did a whole review on this one, so go watch this one. This one just came out like not too far from this one. One more comparison, and that is Godzilla himself. So I think scaling is obviously a little bit off. This Godzilla does seem a lot bigger than the Shimo here, which is obviously not scale accurate. So I would assume the evolved Godzilla will be a little smaller than this one, or actually, it could be the same size. I don't know, I'm just speculating as of this time. But that's your approximate comparison between the two characters. All right, let's actually review this Shimo now. And there is a lot to look at because obviously, unlike the stylist diorama, this one is meant for playability. This one has action features. This one has posability. This one has joints. I guess we can look at the articulation first. Hiya mainly doesn't miss. They normally don't miss with articulation. So first articulation, we got the neck. All right, very, very stiff, but that's because I just took this out. That's a ball socket there. And then the other point, ow, that's sharp. The other point is here, little articulation there, and then her mouth or her tongue can move up and down. So there's articulation there, and then the mouth obviously open, shut. How about main body? We have, I mean, it's super stiff once again, but there is articulation here. There's one point here. Second ball socket is near the middle. Okay, this one's not as stiff, but oh, that's still quite tight. And yeah, 2 points of articulation on the main body. Then we have the main tail, which I just assume is just ball socket mania. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balls of articulation on this tail here. I mean, it's super stiff once again, but that's because this is fresh out of the package. So again, just warming up a bit and then it should be fine. But yeah, look at that. You can definitely pose this up real nice. It's very stiff. What the blazes? And then finally, but definitely not the least, we have the 4 legs. So let's look at the front legs here. Articulation on the thigh, very nice. Articulation on the knee. Not sure if I should be bending it this way. I guess this way. It looks like she's about to give you a high five. And then you have a ball socket down here on the ankle as well, and on the foot itself. There's even articulation on the claws. Each individual claw has their own articulation. That's super detailed. That's amazing. These are individual ball sockets, and that's obviously not all. That's 1 of 4. She has 4 of them, which is crazy. Obviously, same things on this one. For some reason, this leg, I can't get this knee to face forward, so she's kind of just folding it in, tucking her like leg in like this. That's weird. Back legs is kind of the same. Ball socket there on the thigh, ball socket on the knee, and then ball socket bottom here on the ankles. No articulation on the toes / claws here at the back. So it's just on the front feet, which I think is totally valid because you probably want more posability with the front legs. So it makes sense to have more articulation in the front rather than the back. The back is just to support her, keep her up. And you have articulation here. And of course, same thing. Ball at the back. So that's all the articulation, which is what I expect out of the Shimo. You know, she is a 4-legged creature, so of course she will have more opportunities for articulation compared to some other characters. Obviously, the number one thing that people are gonna praise this one over the SH Monsterarts one is the detailing and just how great the coloring looks. And it looks so good. One of the things I praise the stylist Shimo is that you're not just looking at pure white on her body. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but it kind of looks like the white is fading into a little bit of pink. There's a little bit of pink gloss. There's a bit of a shine to it. And I think that's just great because it allows light to reflect off her and just makes her shine even better. It feels more realistic. It doesn't feel so prototypey as I keep calling the SH Monsterarts one. And the main difference is obviously the claws, because as you saw for the SH Monsterarts, it uses just standard black paint on the claws. That's it, just nothing that ordinary. But then for the stylist and this one, you have just blue claws. They look great. Again, it has that little bit of purple shading on the top, which will then provide the kind of shininess, the kind of reflection. And that looks great. Now, the main blue is a little different from the stylish one because this one is a bit on the darker blue side. I honestly prefer this a little bit. The light blue looks great, but it was also a little off in my opinion. The dark blue kind of contrasts the white a little better, and I do like how it like fades a little bit into a lighter blue color at the end at the tip, so it's not the same color throughout all of it. Now, that being said, consistency is key, and I always believe in that because obviously, you might be aware I've been complaining a lot about the Playmates Evolved Godzillas for the pink not being consistent. Well, in this case, the blue here is very consistent from the crown of her forehead to the tip of her tail here. You're looking at pretty much the same color of blue, and it just looks complete. It looks complete. Not fantastic or perfect, it just looks complete. I would like to point out just how detailed this thing is. Look at where the dorsal plates are sitting on her back. Do you see a little shading of blue onto the main white body? That's just another whole level of attention to detail. That's amazing. You have a little bit on the neck here as well as you like get to the back of her head here. So that's just natural. It feels natural. When something feels or looks incomplete, it definitely feels very artificial. Sometimes, especially with Playmates, they get lazy on the eyes and they look kind of just goofy, but Hiya doesn't miss when it comes to face details as well. You have, you know, a pink interior of her mouth, which is, again, makes sense, but there's actual texture there too, which adds to it. You can see with the little bumps and crevices. So I'm very happy with this head design and what they've done here. I am very impressed. I feel like it was worth the wait. Why did it take them so long to put it out? God knows why. I honestly have to give it a 10 out of 10. Well, the only thing I'll complain about is the wait time, obviously, how long Hiya took to actually put this godforsaken thing out. I can confidently say it's probably worth the wait. I totally get it. I mean, I own both of these, and I see both sides of the story. I get why everyone loves this, and why everyone hates this. Simple as that. Obviously, I'm gonna side with this one. I'm glad it's here, better late than never, so I honestly can't complain. It's just that freaking evolved Godzilla next. Hiya! Put that Godzilla out. The fans have been waiting. I've been waiting. Put it out. But I guess if this is the kind of result we can expect from its long wait, I guess it's worth it. So, just hurry up. Affordability is such an important thing. You're looking at 100 Canadian dollars here. Now, I do wish it was probably cheaper. I assume there are places that will be selling it cheaper, but that's the money I paid for this one. I don't care, it's worth it. It's better than the freaking SH Monsterarts one. I'm not paying a price of a PS4 for it, so you're getting no complaints from me about the price for this one. That's all I gotta say for this Shimo. What do y'all think? Of course, check out the other reviews I've done on the other Shimo products, and I expect to see the comment section on this video singing praises on this Shimo. But if there's someone who doesn't like it and prefers some of the other ones or just doesn't like it at all, I want to hear your story. I want to see why you don't like this. I'm curious. That is it for this review. A long overdue video, but better late than never. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe. We'll see y'all in the next one.